Hope you've been enjoying the holiday weekend. I don't know about you, but for me as a kid, the Labor Day weekend meant two things. First of all, the Jerry Lewis Telethon was on nonstop, and to me, that was it. Summer was over. School was starting like tomorrow, and I was always looking forward to it because it's not like it is for our kids nowadays, where they are constantly keeping in touch. Facebook, FaceTime, internet, constantly on their cell phones. It's like they see and are constantly in touch with their friends no matter where they live all the time. Remember what it was like for us back when we were kids? I mean, we didn't get to see anyone other, generally those in our neighborhood, unless we happened to get a ride to the mall and see some friends down there. But otherwise, I mean, you picked up the phone maybe and called them, but that was it. A lot of times you didn't see your friends unless you happened to go to a party or go to the mall or go to the bowling alley. Remember, that was about the, or maybe miniature golfing. That was like the highlight of the summer. Or maybe you might run into them at the boardwalk at the shore. That was about it. You didn't really run into your friends that often during the summertime. So going back to school was like the big thing. Nowadays, our kids, my God, they're in contact nonstop. It's never ending. They never cease to see their friends morning, noon, and night throughout the summer. Wasn't that way when I was a kid. And of course, the other great thing over the Labor Day weekend was big family get-togethers at my house. We used to have a big pool party all the time. And it didn't matter what the weather was. If the pool temperature was 72 degrees, boom, I was in it. Now, the pool in my backyard, if it's not 85 degrees or above and that heater isn't cranked to maximum, forget it. I am not even looking at that damn pool. But anyway, listen, I'm going to give you a free pick here, and I've been red hot with the free picks since I returned on Thursday, hitting 6 out of 7, including 4 out of 5 in college football. Can't hit a best bet if my life depended on it. But tonight, let's take a look at that game between Ole Miss and Florida State. It certainly will not be nearly as entertaining as that bad football game between Texas and Notre Dame. Yes, let's be honest, it was a bad football game. It was an entertaining game between two mediocre teams, Texas and Notre Dame, but it's like a great boxing match between two equally over-the-hill boxers. It was entertaining, but let's be honest, these were not two great teams. No matter how much the announcers tried to tell you that Texas is back, Texas is not back. That defense of the Longhorns, absolutely pathetic. Listen, the minute the Longhorns run into a team like Oklahoma, and granted, Oklahoma did not look good against Houston the other day, but the minute they run into a team that has a real quarterback and plays one quarterback, unlike Notre Dame, which shot itself in the foot coming out slow offensively because they wanted to play that two-quarterback game. And I'm telling you again, those teams that play two quarterbacks, it never works, okay? Once they run into a real team that has a real quarterback and a real running back and a team that has real wide receivers, Notre Dame had no talent at wide receiver. Notre Dame had no real running game. Once they run into a real offensive juggernaut, that defense is going to be shredded. Absolutely shredded. And last night, Charlie Strong, who I just never believed is a very good coach, okay? Once Charlie Strong gets into a big game situation and keeps playing those games with his quarterbacks, shuffling them in and out. He ain't fooling anybody with that 18-wheeler package with swoops in there. Once he gets into one of those situations and opposing coaches knows what's coming, it ain't going to fool anybody. Give you an example. Last night with Notre Dame, they were down 31-14, and they immediately cut the deficit to 31-21. And then that stupid run back by the freshman where the penalty was tacked on, and it backed Texas back up deep in their own end zone. So what does the Texas do? Instead of running out Buechele out there to take the first down plays when they're backed up deep in their own zone, he put swoops out there. Well, gee, what do you think Texas is going to do? They're backed up deep in their own territory, and Swoops is going to take the ball. And he takes the ball on first down, and he takes the ball on second down. And for Notre Dame's defense, not that good to begin with, my God, let's key on Swoops because we know why he's in there. Then they bring in the freshman quarterback, and on third down, the obvious passing down, boom, the ball is tipped, it's an interception, and Notre Dame immediately comes back and gets another quick score, and suddenly we got a 7-point game. Predictability. It's just something that's going to shoot you in the foot sooner or later. And that's why those wonderful little packages, as they call them, it's just stupid. It's not going to work. It worked last night. Hey, it was fine. You're playing a team, Notre Dame, that couldn't stop the run last year, couldn't stop the run last night, and it was a suspect defensive team in the secondary as well. You got away with it if you're Charlie Strong. You were lucky to win that game. Again, entertaining game. Two mediocre teams, to be honest with you. Now, tonight, you got a game that I think that you have to let the line dictate which side you're going to play. Earlier in this week, when this game was 3.5, 4 points, I could see making maybe a case for Florida State. But when you're looking at 6, maybe even 6.5 points in this game, how can you not take Mississippi in this contest? Listen, a lot of people are going to say, hey, Florida State here, they've got 10 of their 11 offensive starters back from last year. Yeah, well, they weren't exactly an offensive juggernaut last year, were they? And the fact is they play in a weak conference, ACC. And the other fact is that the one starter that they don't have back last year, well, their quarterback position wasn't strong last year, and this year it's the unknown because they're going with the redshirt freshman at quarterback. Now, true, he's playing in his hometown in Orlando, but he's still a redshirt freshman, and you don't know what you're going to expect here. Is he a dual threat at quarterback? Absolutely, but you don't know what you're going to expect. On the other side of the field, you got a Mississippi team that also went 10-3 last year, but in a far better conference and a team that's beaten Alabama each of the past 2 years. And you got Chad Kelly, who only threw for 4,402 yards last year and 31 touchdowns, who only also ran for 509 yards and 10 scores last year. And in doing my research for this game, do you know Chad Kelly's offensive numbers last year? His total offensive numbers, 4,551 yards. Single season record in the SEC. That's the third best total yardage figure put together combined in terms of offensive yardage. Third best ever in SEC history. Those are pretty heady statistics. Now, let's talk about the downside here. He's playing behind a totally revamped offensive line. Hell, they had to take a right guard and convert him over to left tackle. They got 3 sophomores starting along the offensive line. His wide receiver core has been rebuilt as well. A defense last year that was outstanding, gave up only 22 points a game, has lost a couple of big guys to the NFL too. So you've got both teams that have some suspect areas. Now you have Florida State. Let's talk about the good about them. One of the key returners for them is their outstanding running back, and that, of course, is Dalvin Cook, who only ran for 1,691 yards last year and 19 touchdowns. Can Mississippi contain him? That's the key. He's going to get his yards here tonight. Now, Mississippi did a great job last year stopping some great running backs in the SEC. Okay? Can they contain him tonight? On the other side, will Florida State be able to put the clamps on Chad Kelly here tonight? Because he is what makes the Mississippi offense go. Numbers-wise, listen, this is a Florida State team that's only 3-8 against the spread in its last 11 non-conference games. This is a Mississippi team that's 25-8-1 against the spread in its last 34 non-conference games. A Mississippi team that's 7-1-1 against the spread in its last 9 neutral site games. Numbers definitely skew more positive for the Rebels in this particular game. But again, you have a Mississippi team that's pretty much in some key areas, especially on defense and along the offensive line, that's rebuilding. But then you come back to this number, 6.5 points. That's a huge number, and what could be a game that could be decided by 3 or 4 points, could be a field goal type of game. And the most dynamic offensive player on this field tonight is going to be the quarterback from Mississippi. So I say that you're going to take the points with Mississippi. I think both of these teams are going to start kind of slow here offensively. I don't know if Mississippi can win this game, but I'm more than willing to grab the points in this one. Hey, I've hit 4 of my 5 complimentary plays so far since I've come back here on Thursday in college football. So let's take a shot again here with Ole Miss as your comp play for tonight. I wish you well, guys, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow when we do this one more time.